throw off the Protoss player is tech switches, and so usually if they're starting to adapt to what you have, you want to switch your tech. And now, what? Okay, we are seeing some Templar. I was about to say, wow, is G5 decided to just go for mass goons, just go for a goon stop game as kind of a almost gimmicky thing, but he is going to get a mixed army instead. It looks as if Machine has decided to produce some extra troops, but one of the things he's also done is he's decided to drone up, and that's, I mean, that's basically, and that's another key thing that you want to do is Zerg. When you have your enemy on the back foot, as it were, you want to, and there we see the lurker upgrade. That's what I was thinking about. When you have your enemy on the back foot, you want to drone up. You want to try and get drones in, produce drones while you have the advantage, and that way your economy will be stronger. And then when you don't have the advantage, you can produce more troops faster. But anyway. I was saying something else about Zerg play earlier, but I don't remember now. Anyway, so, oh yes, tech switches. You want to switch your tech around and that sort of thing, and try and throw off your opponent in that fashion. Lurkers, not usually the best idea against a lot of Dragoons. I mean, he needs to go for some higher tech unit. I guess he's not comfortable enough going with a lot of mutas, so Lurkers can do a good job, especially if he could have gotten them out there for a contain earlier. It would have been really good, but they're not quite out in time. I'm not sure. Let's see what he's going to do with these lurkers. He may also just use them defensively. Well, no, he's probably not going to use them defensively with that many. He's going to put a few around here to use defensively, obviously. A couple on that ramp here. But he's going to need also some additional forces to go with those. Some Zerglings and some Hydras. And there's some Hydralisks to accompany as well. So there we go. Both players just kind of patrolling around the map here, it looks like. G5 getting that third base up now. And he's got the cannons at it. So basically, Machine has decided to go for Econ and cede that third base to G5, and in turn get his fourth base. Now G5, it looks like, is threatening to attack over here at this new upper right base. It's going to be difficult for him to penetrate that, though. He does have High Templar, and I think that Templar might even be able to position, if he puts a storm right in between those lurkers, hit both of those lurkers. With the same storm, and then he'd be in a good position to take that location. But it's still, even without that, there are a few sunks there, and that's going to be hard to deal with. And Machine getting very greedy here. I'm sorry, Machine. G5 getting very greedy, taking a fourth base at the bottom left as well. And Machine, switching their names around for some reason, getting a fifth base as well. So, we're really going to see a macro game here, and Machine with a large line, with that line of lurkers now just defending his main, afraid of an attack here from these forces here. His army's getting a little bit split up, but G5 now adding a third control group, it looks like, of units to his army, and this is just going to get out of control very, very, very soon. We're going to have a 5-base Zerg with 5 gas mines, because there are gas mines at all of these bases. 5 gas mines. And Machine taking a 6th base as well. And G5 taking 5th base at the bottom left. Oh, man, this is getting nuts. This is getting absolutely crazy. G5 might be maxed on energy for a Templar or something, trying to use up that energy by just taking a pot shot with a storm at the lurker there. A real good tactic, by the way, is sending in, getting the storms off, and then, especially if you have, you know, a lot of upgrades on your Dragoons, which, by the way, G5 is doing really well with his upgrades. He's got 2 attack and 1 armor so far. You can go in there, and as long as you have good upgrades over the Zerg, you can pick off, you can get that third shot, the last shot, rather, can pick off the last few hit points of the lurker. In other words, the storm gets them down to about 20 health, and then the Dragoon shot will pick off that last 20 health. So it's a good tactic to do, but I haven't seen any observers yet from G5. Let's see if he even has that tech right now. He's getting a lot more gateways here. Okay, he does have the observers coming out now. I don't think he had them before because I haven't seen any yet. But, I mean, that is one thing that the Protoss can do against lurkers, is just depend on the storms. And G5 has a ton of High Templar. A ton of High Templar. He is going to be in really, really good shape for just dealing with masses of Zerg units coming at him. But Machine is almost maxed, so he will indeed have to deal with masses. At this point in the game, it might be a good idea. Well, there's a lot of Dragoons, so it'd be hard to pull off, but Oftentimes when the Protoss player has too many High Templar, you'll see the Zerg get a squad of Mutalisks and use them to just dive in almost suicidally and pick off the High Templar. And then that way, without the High Templar, the Protoss army is really, really prone to, really vulnerable to the masses of Zerg forces that you can throw at them afterwards. You know, not as much the Mutalisks themselves, but then the follow-up of mass Hydras and Lings and Lurkers and what have you are really, really effective. So, so that's why you see them go in there and try and pick off. Or if you're, you know, if you're Zero, you'll use Spawn Broodling Queens to take out the High Templar against Bisu. I don't think we're going to see any of that, but who knows? You know, Machine is a very, very intelligent player. We could see a great number of things out of him. Could see anything, especially with 6 gas mines. I mean, he's going to have so much gas, he won't know what to do with it. And he is indeed maxed out. Machine is maxed out now, and G5 is very close to max. Yeah, he's maxed as well. So we're seeing 2 maxed armies here, and now they're going to start vying for control of position. Looks like G5 is going to try and go in here for an attack. Beautiful storms right on that clump of lurkers and taking out some Lings as well. Hydralisk going down. Machine not doing a terribly good job of dodging storms. He may have been trying to re-macro the troops that he was losing already. And G5 taking significant losses, but Machine taking significant losses as well. Both down about 40 supply out of the battle. And, wow, more forces being pumped into this location. But again, more storms. G5 just had a ton of High Templar. And there was also some flanking going on. It can only have the screen on one spot at once. But there was some flanking going on as well. And so a number of forces taken out of G5's army there. He's down to 160 supply. And it looks as if he's going to have to re-macro up some forces there. Yeah, making some Archons now. Interesting choice. I would have thought he would want to have those Templar out there and morph their Archons in the field. But we'll see. I guess he wants some Archons in the front, just against he's seen a lot more Lings. And so maybe not as many Hydralisks and more Zerglings. Maybe he wants some Archons in the front of those. Anyway, we'll see what he does next. He still has several High Templar, though, so he's still in good shape. Plus 3 weapons now. Wow, plus 3 weapons for G5, and that is, oh, and there we go. That's what I was waiting for. He was maxed out, and he was pumping a lot of gas, and so as soon as he had the supply to fill, he had the money for Ultralisks, which are now at plus 2 Carapace and only plus 1 weapons. So really kind of behind. They're about to get that chitinous plating, I think is how you pronounce it, on those Ultralisks. So they are now up to plus 4 Carapace. So they're going to have a Carapace of 5. So even though G5's weapons are very, very, very powerful, they're going to be, the Carapace is going to do a really good job. Of course, Protoss weapons because they're higher base, they're going to get more of a bonus to the attack, so plus 6. So plus 5 armor is only going to reduce all but 1 of that attack upgrade on these Ultralisks. He really needs to get those melee weapons up, though I'm sure his ranged attack weapons are probably better off because he's been focusing more on Hydralisk. And here he gets a nice little catching G5's army in kind of a vulnerable position, a little bit stretched out, but he is going to have to fall back. He doesn't have the support units there. He's got a single Defiler, but what he really needed was some Zerglings, some Hydralisks to back that up. He needed a full army instead of just the Ultralisks themselves. He's going to run back to the cover of his Lurkers there, and basically they're just playing a territorial game now. Machine taking the right side of the map, and G5 taking the left side of the map, and both just kind of holding off. And normally in that kind of a situation, oh wow, tons of Psy Storm going off on a lot of units there. I didn't see if that may have been a drop there or something like that. I think that may have also just been part of Machine's army just kind of caught out in the open. How did Machine let it get to even bases? That is probably a mistake that Machine made. You know, normally as Zerg versus Protoss, you know, you wanna have more bases basically, and yeah, he just kind of let him get away with it. He let him expand several times, as In Control is mentioning in the chat right here, and let him get away with it. And now they are on even bases. It's not a good position for him to be in. Let's see, G5 now moving in here. I don't see any observers here, which is really, ow, oh my gosh, just walking his whole army across these lurkers, and walking into fire here. He's now past the gauntlet of lurkers though, and here to deal with these forces. Archons are in play. If he could get a swarm on those Archons, that would be beautiful. There are a ton of Archons though. Oh, nice Dice Storm right on that group of Zerglings, and Ultralists are going to destroy that.